Hey everyone, it's Rachel Olken, MPC figure athlete, and I want to talk to you guys about portions and kind of how you can guesstimate certain things like chicken and almonds and things that we eat a lot when you're out and about, or if you're going traveling, or if you just don't have a scale at home. So I kind of wanted to give you just general references of how to get an idea of how much you're eating. So the things that I kind of have here today that are pretty common in a competitor's diet are sweet potato, rice, broccoli, chicken breast, salmon, almonds, peanut butter, and then I have some cooked oatmeal. So I'll start with the sweet potato. So I have a sweet potato here, and it's about the size of my hand, so I can hold it in my hand. And the whole sweet potato is about 9 ounces, so half of it will be about 4.5 ounces or so. So that's what we have cut up here. So you can kind of stick your whole hand around it, and that's about 4.5 ounces, and it's not cooked yet. So it will be a little bit less once it's cooked, but this is kind of just a general idea. And when it comes to rice, you want to measure your rice or judge how much rice you're going to eat after it's cooked. So right here we have a 1/2 cup of cooked rice. And you can see that I have small hands, but just in general, you can put your hand over about a 1/2 cup of rice, and it's about a handful worth. You can kind of just judge that, grab a handful of rice, and that'll be about a 1/2 cup. You can go with that. For broccoli and for most vegetables, I usually eat about 100 grams per serving, give or take. Some vegetables are higher in calories or lower in calories, but just a general amount. 100 grams is kind of a good amount. So if we have broccoli, which is a great vegetable to have in your diet, you want to take if you have a bag of broccoli, you just stick your hand in there, you just grab a big handful, that'll be about 100 grams. Everyone's hands are different sizes, obviously, so it will change, it will vary, but not enough, especially when it comes to like broccoli and vegetables, that it's going to crazily impact your diet if you have actually 110 grams of broccoli versus 100. Not a huge deal. Here we have our protein. So we have some chopped up chicken breast. And you can see that this chicken breast, they're all chopped in about, small squares. If I spread them out evenly, these 4 ounces of chopped chicken breast is about my hand size. So I'm 5'2", I have small hands. So it's, my palm right around here, and then there's another little bit outside of it. What you can do is also, as I have a credit card here, if you look and you put the credit card over this, it just expands about 1 inch around how big the credit card is. So you can kind of get an idea. If you take a credit card, you have some chopped up chicken, put it with the credit card, and then just do a little bit around it, that'll be about 4 ounces, give or take. Here we have some salmon. So this is a nice salmon fillet, skinless. And the thickest part right here is, I always say generally 1 inch is about as much as your thumb. So it's about 1 inch thick. And when I place it on my hand, it just covers my palm. So this is 4 ounces of salmon, but you need to remember salmon is a higher calorie, higher fat protein. So generally I'll eat more around 3 ounces of salmon in a serving, but 4 ounces just general protein. That'll be where it is. Now when we come to another fat source here, we have our almonds. Almonds are great fat source, great snack. They have fiber, everything we have here. So right here we have it's 1 ounce of almonds. So usually you can just take a handful, give or take, it's about a handful of almonds. And this is 1 ounce, and every almond may weigh a little bit different, but it's actually 25 almonds. So if you just go around with that number of 25, you'll generally be around 1 ounce of almonds. And most nuts will be around the same amount. Walnuts tend to weigh a little bit more, but if almonds, which are a good staple, 25 almonds, 1 ounce, about 160 to 180 calories. It's a good snack. So here we have probably one of every competitor, any healthy individual's favorite things, peanut butter. So this right here is a tablespoon of peanut butter. A tablespoon of peanut butter is about 100 calories. And you can see that a tablespoon is about 1 inch thick and about 1.5 inches in its diameter. And so, generally a spoonful will be it. But it's kind of hard to judge whether you have a big spoon or a little spoon how much a real tablespoon is. So when you take a tablespoon and you put it out on a plate, if you take your fingers and you lock them into a circle like an OK sign, that'll be about the circumference of a thing of peanut butter. Kind of hard to see. You get the circumference there. Now if you compare this to, let's say, a quarter. Now this peanut butter is room temperature, so it spreads a little bit easy. So once you have it out, it'll be just a little bit thick. But you take a quarter and it's quite a bit larger than a quarter. So you could take a quarter and then just go about an inch around a quarter, and that's about a tablespoon. But generally, if you make your peanut butter circle about the same size as your thumb and your pointer finger together, that'll be about a tablespoon. The last thing I have is oatmeal. And generally when you cook oatmeal at home, you're going to measure it because, you know, you have to get the ratio of oats to water right. So it's usually not an issue with dry oats, how much you're putting in. But when you're going out to eat or you're at a hotel and they usually have the big, you know, things of oatmeal, you don't really know how much a scoop is. And once oatmeal's cooked, it's different amounts, not a half a cup dry and a half a cup cooked. You know, it gets confusing. You get a little bit worried. So I just have right here, this is just a general, regular 6 ounce coffee mug. And a half a cup of cooked oatmeal pretty much fills this coffee mug up. So if you're at a hotel and they have, you know, coffee mugs, just a general 6 ounce coffee mug, doesn't say, but standard coffee mug size. If you have that and you fill it pretty much to the top with the cooked oats, that'll be about half a cup of oats, dry, whatever it is, cooked. And I'll show you actually how much that is once it's out of the cup here. So you have a small bowl, you know, it fills up about halfway, 3/4 of the way of the bowl. Get a kind of a general idea of what that is. So I hope that helps. I always recommend having a scale at home. They're not extraordinarily expensive and they do help a lot with measuring things because, you know, different weights of different foods or different amount of calories, different macronutrients. But if you're out on the road, you don't know, you want to grab some almonds, but you don't want to eat too many almonds, or you're at a restaurant, you have some rice, just get an idea. This is kind of general guide. A lot of things will be judged based on your hand, so that will vary the calories and how much it technically is because everyone's hands are a different size. But you know, using things like a credit card to compare different sizes, like the salmon or the chicken, how much even like a half a cup of rice is, can help you a lot. So maybe if you're at home, if you can measure things and then compare them to something you know, so then when you're out, you can use that judgment to figure out how much you're really eating. Hope that helped. Until next time, train hard. Thank you.